Hi guys, and welcome to another session of Honest Talk About Women, where you'll learn tips, tricks and strategies on how to navigate the minefields of dating and relationships. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and also comment in the comment section. It all helps with the YouTube algorithm. Before we start, I'm not giving any legal advice, accounting advice, or financial planning advice. I'm just speculating on what could possibly happen with different scenarios. So let's get right into it. The New Zealand divorce process is very cumbersome. It takes 2 years to get a divorce in New Zealand, and it's very fiddly to untangle yourself at the end. There's definitely a pain point here, and there's a business opportunity for someone to go into a government department, in this case the Ministry of Justice, to fully digitise everything. It's based on forms. The forms are archaic. Some of them are contradictory. You've got to repeat yourself several times over, and it could be done a lot quicker from the comfort of your home by able to do this online. 2 years is a long time to wait for a divorce. A lot can happen in 2 years. You could leave your current job, leave town in a new city, new job, meet a sweetheart, and you've got plans for the future. You want to start a family, you want to get going again, give it another opportunity, another go. But you've got this 2 year thing hanging over you, and it's way too long, way too long. In other countries, it's a lot less. Canada and Australia, it's 1 year. The United Kingdom is 26 weeks. The USA is 6 weeks to several years, depending on the complexity. China's 3 months. So 2 years is off the Richter scale. It's way too long. So this is a part of the Marriage Act that needs to be updated to be fit for purpose for the current environment. We live in a fast-paced environment, and waiting 2 years is way too long. And like other things in marriage law, it needs to be rewritten. Another one is the custody of the kids. If a licensed psychologist can issue a certificate for the mental health of a father who's in good standing order, then he should be able to get his kids 50% of the time. It shouldn't be up to a judge to decide. A psychologist should be able to sort that out. So the Marriage Act in New Zealand needs to be rewritten. Like in other countries, it's a thing of the past that needs to be updated. I just don't think it's a high priority for a lot of politicians at the moment. They've got other higher priority legislative demands at the moment. So in New Zealand, the family court sits alongside the district court. So when you go in, it's like going into a crime scene. There's police everywhere. There's people walking around in handcuffs. The jury service is going on. There's tight security for weapons checks, and it's not a very pleasant environment. And also, these places are located in the city, so you've got to go into the city if you're going to do it in person, and pay expensive parking, $10 an hour, and it takes time to get in and out of the city because it's a lot of traffic lights and a lot of still traffic. So in New Zealand, you can get a lawyer to do it for you, and that'd be about $2,000 to $5,000, depending on how complex it is. Or you can do it yourself. But the forms, there's about 40 pages of forms to read, and you need to fill out about 12 pages. And it's quite cumbersome. So most people would put it in the too hard basket because it's too complicated, too messy, and they get a lawyer involved, and that's absolutely fine. If you want to divorce someone who's currently living overseas, it complicates things even further, and it's a whole lot more costly if there's kids involved. So international child custody orders are very, very expensive to organise, and it can be time consuming. It can take a long time. If you want to do it yourself, you can print the forms off on the internet, but they need to go one step further and allow you to actually fill the forms out online and send them in. But you have to print them out. They've got funny rules, like it must be printed out in colour. Most people have a black and white printer to save on the colour ink cartridges. But anyway, we fill out the forms, and you take it in with your ID, and you see the registrar. So there's, within the family court, there's a person that processes it, and then they on turn, process it and send it down to Wellington for central processing, which seems double up in handling because it should all be done at the face counter by the computer. We've got the technology, it can be done. So again, a business opportunity for someone that wants to go in and help digitize the services there and put a... So it is important to dot the I's and cross the T's, guys. Don't get into la la land and let it just go on for years and years and years. There's plenty of people around town who you speak to who have been married but separated for about 20 years and they haven't got legally divorced. And you've got to tidy things up legally because you could be responsible for her liabilities, possibly tax owing, even if you're a director of her company still. If you inherit money or are financially successful, you could have a portion of that given that to your ex. So it's really important that you get things tidied up at the very final end. Existing wills and other estate plans remain valid while you're separated. So it's only when you're legally divorced they are no longer valid. So make sure you do get a legal divorce. So there's no excuses for not getting legally divorced. Some say the other side will not allow it, but in New Zealand you can put it through by one person, even if the other person doesn't agree to it, if the 2-year rule has been satisfied. So as long as that 2-year rule has been satisfied, one person can put it through. And usually you've got to serve documents on the other person, but nowadays people are moving around from city to city. It's very difficult to know where people are staying, and also some people want to get off social media and don't have a social media presence, so you just don't know where they go. So you can put it through without the other person knowing, as long as the 2-year rule has been satisfied. So that's it for today, guys. It's not a nice subject to talk about, but there's a 50% chance for those that enter into a marriage contract that it will go belly up. So it is really important, should you separate, then you follow the divorce procedure, because there are certain issues that can pop up in terms of liabilities and also estates that can go to the wrong person if you don't want that person to have any of your money. So that's it for today, guys. Click on the like button. Purchase my book on alpha dating. It's at Amazon Kindle. It can be in your inbox in seconds, and it provides fantastic advice on the tips and tricks of relationships. Until next time, take care.